Hello friends, welcome once again, and this is CA Rajiv Khatlawala, author of How to Profit from Technical Analysis. And I'm sure in the Indian equity markets, we saw some volatility in the last week. That is the week in the last 3 4 days, if we can say so. And especially today, though we did not see very huge volatility in the Indian equity markets, but there were some indications of wild fluctuations. So I'm using the word wild. So wild fluctuations in the world markets, and that is something which we as equity investors must also observe. At least we should be aware what is happening in the world financial markets. And when I talk about the world financial markets, right from the currency markets to the dollar index, and also the metals, that is commodities market, and the precious metals. So all of these markets are broadly linked to each other. And those of you who have done my sessions, especially on technical analysis and fundamental analysis, you are aware that these markets are linked. So so there is a lot of fluctuation, a lot of wild volatility happening, especially since yesterday. So let us try to understand this particular aspect about the world markets, and let us try to also correlate what is likely to what is the likely impact on the Indian equity markets. So now, before I go ahead, let me share my screen first. And I'm sure those of you who have been following my channel, you have found the videos quite interesting. And if yes, please do share with your friends. And also please do subscribe, and also hit the bell icon. Now friends, on your screen what you are seeing is the summary of the various financial markets. I have prepared a small sort of a portfolio on the investing.com. And as you can observe here, right from Nifty, Bank Nifty, USD INR, that is the dollar, rupee dollar, various commodities and currencies have been included in this particular portfolio. This is something which I normally track on a regular basis. In fact, at least twice a day I keep a track on this. So it gives us an idea as to what is going to happen, or what is happening in the world financial markets, and how it can impact the Indian equity markets also. So today, let me go. I will not talk about more about the equity markets right now, but one very major thing which happened today, which though it is an Indian market, but it is not Indian equity market, and that is the Indian currency. So as you can observe here, friends, the USD INR rallied by 77 or 78 paise. This means that the rupee depreciated by 78 paise. 1% is a very, very huge movement if we talk about the USD INR, that is the currency. Because normally, if I can just give you a perspective on this, on a yearly basis, companies and various users of the analytical methods of USD INR, they will consider 5 to 7% movement on USD INR on a yearly basis. So depreciation of around 5 to 7% is what is expected. Now just imagine that in one day you have seen this sort of a volatility. The USD INR rallied, that is the rupee depreciated by 1%, and it is a huge thing. And yes, many of my clients who are companies, we had already hedged the imports. So they have saved today, they have saved at least 80 paise, and in the last 3 4 days they would have saved more than that. Now this is some indication to the Indian equity investor that dollar rising against the rupee is not a positive sign, not a very good sign for the Indian equity markets. So please note, this is one thing we have to be cautious about. Another thing which happened yesterday and also today morning is that the world commodity markets, especially the industrial metals and the precious metals, they fell overnight. And as you can see here, now this is the nickel, again a very highly traded, not related, I mean not very highly, but relatively traded metal here. Nickel was is down, in fact, by around 0.6%, and in the last I would say 2 days, it has fallen more than 3%. So that is also one thing which the industrial metals. Now let me come to the very highly traded industrial metal, and that is copper. Now today, as you can see here, copper has fallen in the this is the LME. I mean, this is the US markets, but on the LME also, copper has fallen by almost 2%, and it has been falling in the last few days. So industrial metals are also falling, and also the gold and silver. So let us go to gold now. Today, gold has crashed by 4%. I would not say fallen, but I would say it has crashed by 4%. It is a huge fall. Usually, gold does not fall this much. Normal movement in any downside movement in gold, we see a 1.5 or maximum 2% movement. But today, gold has crashed by almost 4%. Similarly, silver, which is also volatile, it has crashed by 5%. This is just on today, that is, compared to yesterday. So it has fallen by 5% today. So this is indicating that in the world financial markets, something is a problem there. There is some profit booking happening in the world financial markets. Now, also one more aspect which we normally see is the crude oil. And as you can observe, crude oil prices have been rallying, and that is not at all good for the Indian economy. India is a very big consumer of crude oil, and crude oil, as you can see, this is the WTI, that is Western Texas Intermediate. Crude oil, this is not, this is what is tracked by most of the people, traded and tracked, I would say, $72. This crude oil was just a few days back, it was at around $65-66. I do not know whether you have seen one of my videos which I had posted, I think around 15 to 20 days back. I had analyzed crude oil, and I had given you a target of $71. If you have not seen that video, you can just go through that playlist of mine, and I think it was around 15 days back that I have given you this target for crude oil. So crude oil rising, metals falling, and as I said, USD INR rising. It is not a very positive sign as far as the Indian equity markets is concerned, and therefore today Nifty did not fall much, mainly because I would expect, mainly because of the weekly options expiry, which happens every Thursday. So today we closed at around 15,700 approximate levels. Nifty was down by 0.5%. But I would be cautious here. Rebounds may see some selling pressure, is what my expectation is. And in fact, I'll be discussing Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. I'll be discussing in detail in my tomorrow's weekly Friday session, weekly stock analysis session, which I conduct every week, Friday, 9 p.m. India time. So if you are interested, you can definitely join there, and we'll be discussing in much more detail as to what is in store for the equity markets. And in that, I will be doing a live analysis of specific targets, specific levels. But as I said, that looking at the world market today, what has happened in the last couple of days especially, this is a caution for the Indian equity investor. So I'm sure, friends, that this particular slide, this particular video has helped you in understanding, getting a very broad, a bird's eye view of what is happening in the world financial markets. So I hope using your own best judgment, you can now trade and invest effectively. So thank you very much, friends, and see you again in this series of videos which I conduct. And thank you very much. Have a nice time. This is CA Rajiv Khatlawala signing off. Thank you very much.